Are you going to open this one?
I mean, I don't know. This is In the Neighborhood in the Raw is what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
And you really want me to do it, don't you?
Yeah, go ahead.
So growing up, my father always made fun of me because I memorized so much stuff. Like, I could memorize more songs and soundtracks than I could anything else. And one of my favorite that I like to actually reiterate for my father, because I get to get him a belly laugh, is Robin Williams' Good Morning Vietnam. So some of you know it. So you're pushing me.
She's playing shy today.
I am a shy person.
You are not a shy person.
So I'd go over to my mom and dad's and I'd say, "Good morning, Vietnam. Hey, this is not a test. This is," and I'm going to switch it up, "In the Neighborhood."
She is a crazy cat, I tell you. Oh, man. Anyways, we're taking you behind the scenes a little bit today and showing you In the Neighborhood. This is our 101st show. So we're going to go back and do a recap of what we've done and kind of tell you where we're going from here. And I think it should be a fun thing. Before we get started, I'm going to kind of grab the camera. Why don't you grab the camera for me? And we're going to take it around and show you the studio. That's Stacy. You know her. Mike's over there, hidden behind the
Say hi, Mike.
camera. And all of our prep team and prep information's on the camera there, or on the screen. And Renee.
Hey.
Renee is our media specialist. Hey, how are you doing? I'm going to take you out here, and we're going to go outside and kind of see where we're located. If you've not been down to the chamber office, this is kind of a pretty cool place to be. Of course, there's Michelle. Okay, Michelle is our director of first impressions. I can never remember that. But we're right here at the heart of Peoria. And so you can see the spirit of Peoria, the river and the bridge going across, and what was Joe's Crab Shack. So I'll take you back inside and we'll take a look over here. Sorry to do a selfie, they say that's, not a cool thing, but I'm going to try it anyways. Okay, here we go. Hopefully it's not spinning around too much here. And back to where we were. So that's the studio and everything or where we're at and all the fun stuff that we do. And we kind of wanted to take you behind the scenes. Well, really, what's going to happen with this deck, this whole platform that we're on, they're going to actually take this down.
Yeah.
And we're going to head down to the warehouse district a little bit further. Our studio is going to triple in size. We're going to be able to do more with different backgrounds, and I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we'll have a couple of different studios. We'll be able to do podcast, radio, podcast, video, the whole stream. So lots of cool things that we're going to be doing. So
you've come a long way.
We started, I was doing marketing for the real estate I was doing, and everybody said, "Hey, you got to do blogs." And I had been doing Toastmasters, which if you haven't tried Toastmasters, if you're afraid of speaking, you need to do Toastmasters just to overcome your fear of speaking.
I think we've all been afraid at one point in time.
Yeah.
Even I've been afraid. I still have my moments.
Yeah.
People don't believe that.
You're always cool. But, I had been sponsoring a lender who had been sending me leads, and I wanted to take care of her a little bit and started advertising on WMBD with one of her shows, the finance lady, the hot finance lady, Lori Feld. And they're no longer doing mortgages, but I was doing some advertising there, and I talked to Joelle from WMBD and said, what would it be? Just really curious about doing a show. And she goes, well, let me check. She called me back 2-3 weeks later and said, "Tim, I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Why don't you come down to the studio and tell me your thoughts are and what you were thinking about. I'm sure. I'm just thinking about it. Just not really planning on doing it. Just wanted to know, and get down there. And I kind of explained, wanted to do a community show talking about the Peoria as a community because I love Peoria.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, that sounds interesting. Let's go talk to a couple of the station managers. They're here. And so I ended up talking with WIRL and talked to Scott Robbins, who was just on one of our shows not too long ago. And he said, sounds great. When can you start? We have an opening next week. And I flash back to speech class in high school when I was holding my paper, reading a script, and just shaking, and you could hear the paper rattle. I was so nervous, and I'm like, how in the world am I going to do this? And I said, I don't think I can do it right away, but maybe in 3 weeks. So we put it off 3 weeks, and I did a pilot. The pilot episode, which is actually our 4th show. Let me go into this.
So it's all on PeoriaLife.com.
Yep, you can see all of our shows.
Every single one of them.
Right on, if you go to PeoriaLife.com and click on In the Neighborhood, we're right down there in the center. But if you go down, you can hear our first show. The first recorded show was Ryan Spain. He was gracious enough to do our pilot episode, but you weren't involved.
Mm-mm.
I did that, and I thought, boy, it'd be nice to have somebody to help me out. And, when my brain shuts down, maybe somebody else would be going. And I sent out a message, and you responded within probably 3 minutes of me sending.
Really?
Yes. And I said, would you be interested in doing this? And we had just met
Mm-hmm.
At a closing, you being a lender. Oh, great. We're re-podcasting here. Let me shut that off. So you responded, and we did our pilot test, and that was the Park District, and Peoria Park District. And, the Park District is an amazing place that we don't realize there's, I can't remember, but something like some huge number, 100,000 acres of parklands throughout Peoria. I think it's much larger than that, actually. Yeah. And one of the first real parks on this side of the Mississippi. So, first park districts. But you can check that out. We then did Race for the Cure, and that was your favorite one.
Yeah. Well, Race for the Cure is obviously an awesome event, but it's also kind of intimate, right? You have these families coming together to celebrate survivorship or maybe a memory of someone they lost. And I think we were kind of debating on going live with things or, just do the pre-recording, which is obviously a little more comfortable. And this was back May of 2011. Probably, and I don't know, I'd still probably would be a little nervous about doing that, but you handed me a microphone, and was there even a little tape in that recorder?
Yep.
To go out, and I actually grabbed my friend Ann, because we had just graduated from our master's the year prior, and I said, will you go do this with me? And I don't think she had any clue what she was getting into that day, but we were going to do the walk. But then we started going up to some strangers and some people that we knew and just kind of asking them their story.
And what did it mean to them?
Right.
And that was pretty cool.
It was really cool, but it's hard.
I think we need to do more of those. Now that we're on video, it'd be really exceptional.
I don't know, that's hard. We'll see.
We did the honor flight. That was a good one. I enjoyed everything that we did.
6 years ago was when we started.
Then we aired the pilot show with Ryan Spain, so that's number 4. Steamboat Classic and Building Steam. Yep.
Because those also were the classes that I think I had taken at the time. That might have been around the time I ran my first Chicago to Peoria, St. Jude to be with my sisters.
Yeah.
So I think that was another one of the reasons why I kind of brought them in, because that's what we've kind of done is we've brought people from our lives in to kind of dive in a little bit more and share the excitement of what we're doing.
Right. Yeah, I think my original goal was just to tell about the great things of community. And for me, it's kind of changed to, if you're interested in doing some kind of volunteerism, how do you get involved? And that's really kind of been my push of this whole thing is there's so many things to get involved with that are awesome here in Peoria. And, I think we covered a lot of the big ones. So
I mean, there's like 1,500 nonprofits in this area, and I still have people retired and not retired. They're like, I want to give back, but I don't know what to do. And there's so many needs out there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so call me then, and let's see what your interests are and where we can get you plugged in. Because, gosh, there's so many cool things that you could be doing.
Yeah, we've covered. Not quite 100, but because we've had guests.
Sure.
Our sixth show was Chuck Weaver.
Father's Day.
He's been on 3. And to tell you the truth, that was, to me, one of my favorite shows. And
Sure.
talking about fathers and all of that. Prairie Air Show, which is, from my understanding, no longer going in the Peoria area.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Red Cross came on, Mary Ardapple. Senator LaHood was our 10th show. I can't believe we got him on the 10th show. He's probably going, what's going on here?
Right?
Whitney's Walk, which in prepping for the show, I found out that acquaintance of mine, a client of mine and a friend of mine, her daughter actually committed suicide, and I found it out through Whitney's doing the research for this, and it was a tough show and good.
Whitney's Walk is pretty cool. You have that sea of green,
Yes.
which kind of helps it stand out at Jubilee, which is a really beautiful place to walk. And grab your friends, family. People even bring dogs to that one, and then of course it goes back to the Holt Center for Healthy Living. But there's a lot more out there that people don't realize, and the help that's available to people facing depression and suicide.
And you're involved with Holt now, right? Awesome. What do you do there?
I'm the president on the board right now. Actually, just wrapping up my 2-year term.
Wow.
So it's a lot. A lot of changes.
St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
St. Jude Run.
And I had, I believe we brought in Child Life, if I remember right. Actually, we brought in my niece, who went through St. Jude's here in Peoria and down in Memphis, and that was a good show. Make-A-Wish, which you and I are both plugged into.
Yep.
She dragged me along for that one.
I think that must have been wrap up after our first event,
Yeah.
because 2011 was our first I Spy a Wish team adventure.
If you have not checked out I Spy a Wish, you need to go to ispyawish.com and check that out and join, because it's a lot of fun. There's a ton of prizes.
Kid friendly.
Very kid friendly, with usually balloons and
Face
lots
painters.
of fun. Yep.
Yep.
And you get to go out as a team, whether it's families or
Friends,
work.
co-workers.
Yeah, you can go out and do a scavenger hunt. So,
And you don't have to be able to run or walk, so that's kind of where we geared that. But, it's because of the show that you and I became closer, and then I got you to come along with me on
Yeah.
that. See? It's got you into all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, you really drug me into it. Actually, yeah, we've had a few things that you brought me into. The Center for Prevention of Abuse. Carol was just on another show within Peoria Life. Just
It's around the duck race time.
Yep, it's about that time. Check out the duck race.
Yep.
The MS Walk. That was.
I bet my friend Shauna Knapp came in on
Yes,
that one.
and I just had a client who had MS and got connected, so it was a personal thing when she came through. We had Mayor Mingus came in. We did Impact Peoria,
I think we've done kind of Impact a couple times.
Yep, he's been on twice, if I remember right. Camp Big Sky.
Brad Guidi.
Brad has been on twice, both in both our first two studios. We're at our third studio now.
That's right.
Check out Camp Big Sky because, well, define Camp Big Sky.
So Camp Big Sky is a camp out it's out past Canton, or in the Canton vicinity, out past Farmington.
Yes.
Middle Grove. Camp Big Sky is in Middle Grove, and it is a free camp to people with challenges, handicaps, whether it's veterans or or someone in a wheelchair or any type of disability. They have ways for you to get to be able to go fishing, camping, anything that you would typically not be able to do because of disabilities. There's railways, so if you're in a wheelchair, it'll take you all the way there. And they have actually even volunteers that come out and will take kids, or there's no age limit, but you can come from anywhere in the U.S. and you can go camping for free if you are someone with disabilities at Camp Big Sky. It is so beautiful out there.
You know, imagine if you've been wheelchair bound and you just, there's not an opportunity, very few opportunities for you to go out and camp and enjoy the outdoors.
Any type of outdoors, really, if you think about that. I mean, they may have never been to a park because a lot of them are not wheelchair accessible and or having someone to take them. So they accept, large groups that come out, and they actually even have a great big new facility that's being built with indoor facilities, because they actually do a lot of education there too, if you remember them kind of talking about that.
Yep.
Teaching people life skills while they're out in the woods, which is, God's beauty that's surrounding you. It's so amazing out there.
There's just so much. Rich Woods, your pastor, came in.
Yep.
Habitat for Humanity. We had Mayor Artist come in.
Couple times.
We've had him on a couple of times. CWTC, that is...
That's the building on University where they have the work for people with disabilities.
Right.
Didn't we go there?
We did take a tour, but I don't remember if we did that one live or not.
And we might not have been able to.
Yeah.
But still a really amazing place, and the things that they do for our community and the people there.
We did Retreat and Refresh Stroke Camp, and Kelly Snyder from What's Up Peoria is involved with that. Actually, my neighbor, his house is right behind mine, and he's heavily involved with that too. East Peoria Festival of Lights was December of 2011. Fit Necessity, that was our first show with Doug
going
Pinter.
Back on.
Yep. No, not that one.
Because we took a
still
break.
Not there.
No.
Nope. This one's not. This one's 30. So we didn't change out to 44. Was our last show on WMBD.
Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking this one wrong. Resolutions, Veterans Services, outboard skipping. That's it. Yes. So we have a few of them that aren't on here that I didn't realize. So we did take a break and came back in with Doug. And Doug was the first one we did, one of the first ones we did in the in my real estate office. My broker's kind of going, "What you doing, Tim?"
Yeah, all the microphones set up in that conference room.
A little conference room, and
it was still a cool setup, and I enjoyed the microphones. It was fun.
Yeah, you'd like to go back to the microphone.
I do like the microphone. Doug had a cool story.
Doug had a cool story about how his life changed, and he's a professional golfer, and now does actually 2 different shows on Peoria Life. Daily Energy and Pinter and Patrick. So check those out.
Because he has Anytime Fitness, so he was my gym, so I roped him in to come do a show.
We had a resolution show, and that was life coach
Dina Emser.
That good stuff there. Veteran Services.
We had the Goodwill and Salvation Army come in, because you don't realize how so many of these not-for-profits actually come together too and work as a team. So I think that was my biggest takeaway from that one, was like, how cool is it that they use each other as resources?
Right.
Like, that's really what Peoria is really good at too, is coming together as a team and not being separate entities.
Yeah. So we've had lots of different organizations throughout Peoria that have been that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that it has been pretty cool. We had President Sarah
Phelan
in.
Yeah, because I made the job change, and so I was able to actually get the president of my bank now, Illinois National Bank, to come in, and she kind of told a little bit of her story. I mean, I don't know how many female presidents you know of that work at banks and plus are younger. So I thought it was really cool. Plus, she's really big at giving back, and her and I both got our degrees from University of Illinois Springfield. So
We had Sherry Cannon on.
yeah,
Sherry's really involved and related to Carl Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl Cannon is one of our favorite guests also.
He's been on the show a couple times, right?
Yep.
More than once.
And we had Matt Mahala.
Mm-hmm.
I said that right?
Yeah, people like to say Machala.
Yeah, I say Machala all the time.
That was for Rotary and for Impact Peoria and a lot of the different things that he dives into.
He's really involved.
Mm-hmm.
We had Neighborhood House. Brad Guidi came back in. Matt George.
Children's Hospital, or Children's Home.
Children's Home.
Not
yeah.
the hospital.
Ashley Taylor came in.
Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish, and all three of us.
Oh, yeah, we brought on Riley.
Yes, Riley came in.
When he was doing all the dancing in the other room.
Yeah.
Going past the camera.
And his helping hands, Greater Peoria Economic Development, Epic, and Heart of Illinois Harvest. That was a pretty cool one. And Great Oaks Camp. That was a walkthrough, audio-wise. And so, let's see, Elite came in again.
That was Carl Cannon.
Yep. And Bike Peoria. And we had Boston Jacobs,
who's now moved back, because he was actually just so happened to be in town.
We had the Germantown Hills Fire Department. CASA. You've been involved with CASA.
Mm-hmm. Court-appointed special advocate for children.
Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We had a turkey drive with PAR, which is the Peoria Area Association of Realtors. We had HALT.
Mm-hmm.
And Dream Center. Andy has been really great to deal with and work with.
Yeah, they'll have that backpack collection coming up again this summer. Because what was it? They started with 100 backpacks, and then there had people lined up out the door to come. But that also was a really cool resource center. If you remember that, they talked about when the families do come to pick up the backpacks, that they have other nonprofits inside there, and they actually have to go and stop before they can collect their backpack.
We had America Gold Star Families.
Yeah, I actually just saw her speak yesterday at Rotary.
That was an emotional one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very personal for her, and she's committed to what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Family House, they're great friends of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Family Core. Wildlife Prairie Park. We've done a couple of different shows.
We went out there.
Yep.
That one was live even in December.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize they're open year-round.
And we just had them on for talking about the school.
That's right.
Southside Mission, Echelon, Peoria Playhouse. That was another live.
That was crazy. We went right after, what was it, Christmas?
Yep.
Or New Year's Eve, and so the place was packed.
Yeah.
Little kids running across the screen.
And, we're down here at the Chamber of Commerce, and we had Jeff on, and Jeff was He's hilarious. He's a funny guy.
I think that was the one I said I laughed the most.
Yes. Yep. We talked your special information or special story about missions. You've done a few mission trips.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say just go on and take a look and see the different things that we have on there, and join in, comment. There's a lot of different things that we've done, and if you are especially a charity or volunteer organization, let us know. We would love to do more shows with you. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's crazy. And it's crazy all the different places we've been. So that's 3 of them. This will be a 3rd, and then probably being a 4th how soon?
We're going,
couple months?
September 1st is our date. We're shooting to be in the new place. So there's a lot of work to be done from here to there. And right now it's raw warehouse space. And I think it'll be pretty cool when it's all said and done.
Going on site's been pretty cool, though, too. We did River City Labs. We got to head over there and see what that was all about.
Yeah, River City was cool. I love our on-site shows. I think we did Family House too, and we did one there. But I guess what we have right now, let me go back to the last page and kind of run through the shows that we're doing right now. And if you have not checked out Peoria Life and all the different shows that we do, there's quite a bit there.
Yeah.
Kelly Schneider does What's Up Peoria, and every week she does 3 little snippets of, if you're looking for something to do on Saturdays, she tells you what's going on in Peoria on Saturdays. There's our show. Civic Center does a show every month on Peoria Life. The Chamber does a weekly 15-minute show. They highlight a lot of the members that are that they have.
Chamber Chat.
That's Chamber
It's a good
Chat.
name.
And 41 Strong is with Chuck Tate.
Rock Church.
Yep, Rock Church. And that's an inspirational show. Daily Energy is the one with Doug Pinter, and they do in studio. They talk with their go-to pros and sports. So check them out. Kim Martin of
I've Decided
and
Curves
does something called Healthy You. And if you're interested in health and getting your diet right and really just getting into the healthy mindset, she's a great show to watch. Pinner and Patrick is a show, we do remotes every single time, so we're out different locations shooting and talking, again, more go-to pros and helpful hints and sports. Peoria Professional is actually Renee's show, and she talks with different professionals. They come on and talk about what they do. And we have some other shows that are kind of special shows that are kind of our specials. So Color Noise, they interview local bands. If you're interested in being a part of any of those, let us know. Voice Chronicles, we have Tanya, and Tanya is a broadcaster from Peoria, or from actually Florida, that does some really, I would call them NPR style shows.
Okay.
And if you want to learn how to save $100,000 over the lifetime of your vehicle, check out Brett Beechler's shows on Car Guy. So there's a lot there.
There's a lot. You've been working really hard to get all this together.
Yeah, we have more shows coming. Oh, yes, and check out some of our Defining Our Times. They're kind of like TED Talk shows that we've done on here. So make sure you check those out. So, well, we have just 1 minute left.
Did you want to talk about where we're at? Where we're on display?
You can find us on PeoriaLife.com. You can find us on Facebook. I don't know if we're on Facebook. But
maybe that's one we should create.
Anyways, we are on GPS TV, which is cable, which goes out to Canton, East Peoria, all over the area. And let's see, We are on WPEO. That's our show is on there, and yeah, there's about 4 different stations for that. So check us out. Make comments. We're glad to talk back and let you know what's going on. And yeah, lots of stuff going on.
Lots of stuff. We've only just begun.
I'd love
101.
if you want to know more of what's going on, make sure you send us a comment and we'll fill you in.
Thanks.
Thanks, Stacy. See you, everybody.